Hello, guys. It's Shane Davis talking and drawing with Yanzi Lin. Sometimes she will make a sandwich for herself, not me. And today is the day we're here to talk about Gina Carano, and she's coming back in Legos. So let's get into it. So it snuck out through a Lego Japan release. This was a catalog in Japan. This has actually been pulled down off the internet, but somebody caught it. Now, this was not the complete set of Star Wars Legos for the rest of the year, but some of them coming up in the next few months. And we some of these we had seen before. You know, the Slave One, people knew about it. It's a smaller Slave One. People heard about it. People were excited. The Moff Gideon, what is it?
Imperial Light Cruiser. It looks like everything on this list though is an August release from the looks of it.
Right. This had been rumored before, and of course, we have a Mandalorian, I think, fighter jet thing. But what's interesting here is when we go down to the minifigures, there was a bit of a speculation. So when Cara Dune was canceled from Disney Star Wars, and we've seen the Gina Carano public execution by Kathleen Kennedy. And all of a sudden, all these Black Series figures, all the Star Wars merch, she was being removed and erased. We did videos on it on this channel from licensing artwork. They were pulling her from everything. Well, Lego still kept a Lego set on the shelf. It was an ATST that was in the Mandalorian Season 1. So that set was still on the shelf. It was not pulled off the shelf. So it came with a little, you can see here, little Gina Lego figure. So this cruiser, though, this is what's interesting. Why is she still there? Because they're getting ready to discontinue the other set. Now, people assumed with the Lego toy community that they were just letting it ride out. They'd already manufactured these. They weren't going to recall them. Lego took a stance. They didn't pull them off the shelves. But just like most Lego sets, they get discontinued. They keep their sets around for a year, maybe 2 years, something like that. So this set, it had been rumored like she's going to be in it, but they didn't pull her figure out. Now, this is interesting because actually the designer of the Star Wars Lego stuff actually made a comment about it. What did he say?
He replied that the Lego minifigure is a representation of the character, not the actress. So I guess that's a way of just saying, you know what? Cara Dune is in here, but it's not Gina.
This gets really interesting because there was a rumor back in February, and this is where it gets really odd. First, I want to point out it would have been very simple to replace Cara Dune in this set. You could easily put a Stormtrooper in here. They have a Death Trooper. You could oftentimes Lego sets will give you two, especially if they're like Stormtroopers. You'll get two Stormtroopers or two Clone Troopers or something like that. So removing her figure from this set wouldn't have been that hard at all. Lego stance is interesting because a lot of times with movies, especially the Marvel movies, a lot of leaks and the actual what they're doing in the future, people find out from the Lego sets first because they have to get out in the catalogs and they have to be on the shelves before or around the time the movie's release. So what's happening here? Is it possible that Gina Carano's character, Cara Dune, is still going to be in the Mandalorian universe? Are they keeping the character around? Because honestly, what is this character just supposed to drop off the face of the map and nobody, make reference to her? Plus, we had the spinoff, Rangers of the New Republic. Let's talk about this for a minute.
Rangers of the New Republic was something that was on the Disney slate for the Star Wars series that they were planning. But it's interesting during the investor development when they talked about all the series, all these other spin-offs, right? For some reason, Rangers of the New Republic was scraped off the presentation. And then a couple of months later, Gina was fired. So It's very strange. I guess probably because she was slated to be maybe the lead character for the Rangers of the New Republic. So right now, though, they say in May that it's no longer in active development at Disney Plus, which seems to imply either, Gina was so important that they cannot go ahead without her, or they're still trying to recast her. It's kind of like a 50-50 at this point, because based on what they are saying for the Lego, it sounds like they want to keep the Cara Dune character, but they don't want Gina Carano. So it just seems messy.
And this was always going to be a messy, tricky situation because in the idea of the streaming service that, the investment that Disney's putting behind Disney Plus, they're trying to build a library of seasons. So what are you going to do? You're going to just take out the episodes with Cara Dune? No, that she's part of the Mandalorian. You can't. So this is interesting because canceling Gina Carano really didn't get you anywhere. And if anything, it's built a very bad climate for Disney Star Wars. So do they recast her and keep the character there and just say they had a disagreement with this actress and move forward, which is very polarizing? Or two, they somehow try to throw a buttload of money at Gina Carano, which how do you pay her enough for what you did publicly to her, shaming her, humiliating her, executing her? How much could you pay to get her just to pop back up on the season? So I feel like this Rangers of the New Republic was basically scrapped. It's a nightmare one way or the other. Gina hasn't really, she's been such a hot topic that just replacing her character in this show is a living nightmare. Plus, I mean, a lot of character development had already been built on Cara Dune's character. So the show was basically a spinoff. Ground level type stuff just to start with a brand new character isn't probably what, they were thinking of when they were looking for, type of spinoff material. I mean, that's super risky just to come up with a brand new character, and it's not really developed. It's not very fleshed out. Even with Mandalorian, it was kind of coming off of a lot of steam, with Boba Fett. And then also you had Baby Yoda. So there was a lot of things working for it. Whereas like Rangers of the New Republic, maybe kind of, sort of, who knows? So it's interesting in that sense. The idea, though, of Lego being the one toy company that's holding true with this is like, well, oftentimes Lego is privy to a lot of information on movie sets and tied in with these studios, just like a lot of other toy companies, sure. But you have to understand, Lego's more about dealing with these companies on a scenario type. What's the scene? What are the sets? Is this the Avengers fighting at Avengers Tower? What does this mean? What bad guys do we have? And they're usually dealing with a little bit more information than the normal toy company in that sense. So I'm kind of, I don't know. This to me was interesting news. It could mean nothing. It could mean a lot. The fact that this character is still around in sets. Or it could just, be that they felt that they couldn't sub her character out for another character. I find that hard to say, though, because
you could just put Luke Skywalker in there, like, ta-da.
Right. You could have had a Luke figure here, and the set would have been insanely popular. Just having a new Luke Skywalker figure would have been popular. So good point, Yanzi. Why is this not a Luke figure and it's a Cara Dune? Very, very good point. And on that note, guys, Starlight Cat's Merlion Rising, $1 away from $114,000. Little Girl, Big Adventures, Cats in Space. And if you will, look down below, you see the 9 Lives button. You want to hit that there button, subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the video. Share the video if you will. And we will catch you guys again with another video.